Imagine opening your front door one crisp morning, coffee in hand, only to find a woman you've never met standing on your lawn like she's the queen of the cul-de-sac, jabbing her finger at your perfectly fine mailbox and declaring it a neighborhood atrocity. That's how my nightmare started, not with a bang, but with a clipboard-wielding busybody named Karen Ridley, who thought her HOA badge gave her divine right to rule my life. Little did she know, her power trip was about to crash into a wall of cold, hard facts, exposing a web of lies so tangled it would make a spider jealous. I'm Alex Harlan, the guy everyone in Maple Grove whispered about, the recluse, with the unkempt yard and the old pickup truck that somehow offended their pristine sensibilities. Truth was, I'd moved here after a messy divorce, craving quiet after years in the city rat race. The rumors? Oh, they were gold. I was a hoarder, a tax evader, even, get this, secretly running a meth lab because my garage light stayed on late. All nonsense, spread by nosy neighbors who'd never bothered to knock and say hello. I kept my head down, mowed when I felt like it, and ignored the side-eye glances at block parties I skipped. But Karen? She was the self-appointed sheriff of Willow Creek HOA, the adjacent subdivision that fancied itself a gated utopia with rules thicker than a phone book. Her jurisdiction ended at the old oak tree marking the boundary, but ambition doesn't respect lines on a map. That fateful day, she marched up like she owned the deed to my soul. "Mr. Harlan," she said, her voice dripping with that fake politeness that hides a knife. "Your mailbox is in clear violation of community standards. Rustic. We require uniformity, black, matte finish, no dents." I set my mug down on the porch rail, crossing my arms. "Community? Last I checked, this is Maple Grove, not your Willow Creek fiefdom. I'm not in your HOA." Her eyes narrowed, lips pursing like she'd sucked a lemon. "Oh, but we voted to expand. It's for the greater good, property values, you know. Join us, and we'll waive the initial fine." I chuckled inwardly at the absurdity, but kept my face straight. "Expand? You can't just vote to swallow my property like it's a bad merger. I've got the deeds right here." I pulled out a folder I'd kept handy ever since the whispers started, plat maps, zoning letters, the works. Karen glanced at them like they were yesterday's trash. "We'll see about that. You have until Friday to comply, or we'll escalate." She spun on her sensible heels, clipboard flapping like a victory flag, and zipped off in her golf cart adorned with HOA stickers. Escalate, I thought. Lady, you have no idea who you're poking. Friday rolled in with the subtlety of a freight train. I was midway through my second cup of joe when sirens wailed up the street. 2 cop cars screeched to a halt, lights flashing like it was a drug bust. 3 officers piled out, hands hovering near holsters. "Alex Harlan?" the lead one barked. "Yeah," I replied, stepping out calmly. "What's the emergency? Did my mailbox finally snap and attack someone?" They exchanged awkward glances. "We got a call about a trespasser refusing to vacate the premises. Claimant says this property's now under HOA control." And there she was, Karen, emerging from behind a hedge like a bad spy movie extra, her face flushed with righteous fury. "Officers, that's him. He's disrupting the harmony. We annexed this lot fair and square." Couldn't help but snort. "Annexed? With what? Magic beans? Officers, check this out." I handed over my folder again. The lead cop skimmed it, eyebrows shooting up. "Ma'am, this shows he's outside your boundaries." And calling 911 for this? That's not how it works. Karen sputtered. But property values. He's a blight. The cop shot her a withering look. False reports waste resources. Do it again, and you're looking at charges. As they drove off, Karen huffed away, muttering about ungrateful outsiders. I watched her go, thinking, game on, Karen. But oh, the irony. She thought she was the enforcer, but she just handed me the first thread to pull. Sunday dawned peaceful, or so I thought. A low buzz invaded my backyard tranquility. A drone, hovering like a mechanical vulture, camera whirring straight at my patio where I lounged in boxers. I grabbed binoculars, tracking it back to 512 Elm Drive, Karen's McMansion, complete with manicured lawn and a live, love sign that screamed hypocrisy. By lunch, I'd rigged up my own camera system, motion-activated and feeding to a cloud server. Spy on me? Two can play, I murmured, filing a FAA report for good measure. Her surveillance for compliance was about to bite her in the bylaws. Come Monday, work dragged, but home was worse. A garish orange sticker plastered on my door like a scarlet letter. NON compliance. Unauthorized resident. Inside the mailbox, a final warning threatening a lien, spelled Leon, in a typo that had me chuckling, and an invite to a mandatory hearing. I photographed everything, then called the county clerk. They can't lien jack squat outside their turf, she confirmed, voice laced with amusement. But faking official seals? That's fraud. Document it all. I'll flag the sheriff. I hung up, feeling the tide shift. Karen's authority was crumbling under its own weight, one misspelled threat at a time. Wednesday brought a knock, a sweaty guy in an ill-fitting suit, unrolling blueprints like a bad magician. Mr. Harlan, I'm from the Maple Grove Oversight Board. Here to inspect for annexation prep. I raised an eyebrow. Phone recording. Oversight what? Name and affiliation. Please, he stammered. Mike Dorsey, contractor for Willow Creek HOA. They said it's all legal. Legal? Like you're trespassing. I pointed to the property line. He bolted faster than a cat in a cucumber field, grumbling about low pay. That night, sheriff's report filed. I learned I wasn't alone. Two neighbors had similar visits. One with a gate jimmied open. The inquiry launched, and I smiled. Karen's empire of petty rules was starting to crack. Her greater good facade peeling like cheap paint. Thursday's call from Detective Mia Torres sealed it. Mr. Harlan, we've got multiple complaints on Willow Creek HOA. Care to share your docs? We met at the station. I dumped my growing file maps, footage, stickers. Her face hardened at the forged seal. This is impersonation. Fraud if they're faking liens. Prosecute, I asked. With a pattern. Yes. Connect me to the others. By Friday, Karen was back, this time with a rumpled lawyer in tow. This is Attorney Vance, she announced grandly, shoving a cease and desist. You're harassing us with misinformation. I opened it on the spot. Harassment? Pot? Meat kettle. Phone up. Recording. Repeat that for Detective Torres. Vance blanched. Karen fumed as he yanked her away. New developments, he mumbled. Oh, the sweet irony, the bully crying foul. The weekend exploded like fireworks gone wrong. More neighbors got fake letters. Trash bins stickered for unauthorized placement. A rule as real as unicorns. Torres called a town hall. The room buzzed with outrage. She projected fakes versus reals. This is criminal impersonation. Fraud. Gasps echoed. A burly guy shouted. Charges. Yes. Report it. I stood. They droned my yard. Faked liens. Called cops on me. But we're fighting back. Stories poured out. A teacher threatened with road access loss. A couple bilked for pre-dues. Over 20 statements later, the sheriff raided the HOA office, a glorified shed. Preprints. Phony maps. Target lists. Karen and Vance, real name. Disbarred paralegal Victoran, arrested at dawn. News hit. HOA fraud exposed, residents rebel. A stranger quipped on camera. They picked the wrong recluse. I grilled steaks that night, toasting to the first win. But whispers of deeper dirt lingered. The charges buzzed through town like gossip on steroids. Then, a blast from the past. Old high school buddy, now ADA Jake Simmons, called. Alex, your name's all over this. Prosecuting. Need you in. Financials are a mess. I met him Monday. His office a war zone of papers. Screen spun. Spreadsheets of reserves funneled to ghosts. $80,000 embezzled, he said. Shell companies under relatives. Annexation, desperate cash grab. And harass outsiders? I asked. Distraction. He filed. Fraud. Embezzlement. Impersonation. Witness. Yep. And send that neighbor's trail cam guy invest snooping? Conspiracy. Indictment unsealed. 10 counts on Karen. 6 on Vic. Suits on board. Willow Creek imploded. Maple Grove side relief. I stayed low until interim Pres Elaine showed. You shook us up good, she said. Newspaper in hand. Found a storage unit, fake purchase apps. Forged signatures. Yours included. My jaw dropped. They tried to buy my land with forgeries? 7 lots. Fake rezoning plan. I handed a drive to Jake. Annexation schedule. Dues projections. His presser. A system of deception for theft. Trial loomed. More tales emerged, phantom fines. Ramp threats to a vet. Post-hearing. A note on my truck. Back off. Jake fingerprinted it. A bailed board member vanished. Panic, he said. Won't work. Trial week. Packed court. Cameras rolling. Karen, in frumpy attire, dodged eyes. Jake dismantled. Forges. Wires to Florida bonuses. Witnesses roasted her threats. My stand. I wanted peace. They brought war with lies. But truth wins. Jury quick, guilty all. Karen, 6 years. Restitution. Vic, for. Banned. Board, fines. Bars. Jake post-sentencing. Counsel run. Nah. I'd heard cats first. Back home. Neighbors formed a loose council, no rules. Just help. Fence fixes. CPR classes. Watches. Helping mount a light. A guy grinned. From quiet guy to HOA slayer. I shrugged. Still quiet. Plaque on mailbox. Home of the free thanks to saying no. Anonymous. But perfect. Fall chilled the air. Deck resealed. A black SUV arrived. State Auditor Lena and Inspector Tom. Tip from DA, HOA tapped grants falsely. $250,000 for upgrades. I guessed. None done. I fetched my nonsense box. Intercepted minutes. Storm drains on fake streets. ADA paint jobs. Fraud. Laundering, she said. Warrants. Tip: blue folders in closet. Raid unearthed. Phony invoices. Altered receipts. Transfers to Karen's alias. New charges. Treasurer nabbed fleeing. Jake called. Tier 2 corruption state funds for schemes. Assets frozen. Restitution fund floated. December trial, big guns, auditors. AG. Feds. Karen's real lawyer squirmed. Emails damned her. Personal approvals. Phone audio. 5 more lots. Next grant. Paperwork fools him. Silence fell. Guilty. Karen, 10 years. No parole early. Others. Sentences. Fines. Victory, new HOA audits. Abuse hotline. First call, flagpole fine elsewhere. Maple Grove bonded, no boards. Just community. Letter from a teen. Civics chat? I replied, truth bookends. Proof. Patience. Backbone in between. Post office clerk. Next HOA? Message received. No more clipboards here. But here's the kicker. In a world where community masks control freaks like Karen, was I the hero for fighting back? Or just lucky the system worked this time? True or false, HOA power should be curbed before more Karens ruin lives? Drop your take below. Let's debate who really owns neighborhood harmony.